Morning, everyone. This is Brandon with the Blount County Bigfoot Research Organization of Alabama, coming to you here from North Alabama, North Blount County. Just wanted to do a little video on the way out here and talk about some recent events that had just happened. One, I went and put a recorder out yesterday on the way home, and come to find out, I actually made a video and uploaded it. Well, I titled the video "The Audio Recorder on the Perfect Moon Phase" or something like that, something to that effect, something about a perfect moon phase. Well, then anyway, what was ironic was come to find out, I think it was a good moon phase. I was just guessing on it. I just had a theory about it, but I really didn't know. But without really explaining it, let's just say it was a good moon phase. Basically, going by what I was told by somebody that I really know, he knows. Anyway, that's why it's good to have, try to get with good people, have good information. I struggled for, I don't know, 2 years trying to get some, which, hey, there's information out there, but you have to sift through it. That's what I say. That's what I call it. You got to sift through the BS. There's a lot of information out there in the Bigfoot community, but a lot of it is just simply just BS, in my opinion. There's good people out there, but there's a lot of people it's just entertainment. A lot of people don't take it serious, not near as serious as they should. If you go to looking for these things, and you go to seeking out active areas, it's a very serious thing. It's not a joke. I believe these things. I believe I'm just like the man that I listen to. He thinks that they want to be left alone, and I think the same thing. I agree, and I mean, he would know, because he's been to what I would call ground zero with these things. He's been there with them. Has some awesome audio catches on it. He's recorded. He's even got a thermal, a good thermal hit, and really, truly, if you sit and think about, I don't know, I didn't know we was gonna go this way, but if you sit and think about, the short time, I mean, I think he's been doing it 11. Well, it may be more now. It may have been 11 years when I heard him say that. But anyway. It ain't been no 30 or 40 years, but for him to know what he knows, have the knowledge he has, and I'm speaking of a local guy here in my state. Yeah, it's really remarkable. But he will tell you, from me listening to him, he will tell you when he went in, he went all the way in, and these things are so elusive. So, there's so little information, and then what information's out there, you have to, it's a wide, the learning curve is just, I don't know, the information is just huge on, from one way to the next, what I would call all the way from the left to the right, wherever you land at on these things. Human, not human, ape, not ape. Some people believe they enter, they're paranormal and all. I don't. I believe that they are flesh and blood creatures. I believe they are closely as close as they could be to human. I believe they're human. I believe that they have animal characteristics, and they're wild though. They're like the wild man. That's what my granddaddy used to tell me about, the wild man. And that's what they referred to him. And when the old timers that I listened to, they referred to these as wild men. But anyway, about the moon phase last night. I put the recorder out I put it out probably an hour before dark. But anyway, here in another area, I did a few calls last night about 9:30, close to 10. Went to bed, which I was recording when I did them. I didn't get a reply that I know of. The only thing it did, it set the cows off and the dogs. And that's another thing. I have noticed if I'm near a cow pasture and I do a call, it sets the cows off. The cows, they start from one pasture to the next, they start going off. But anyway, it set the cows off, and then it set the dogs off. I never did get an answer, or get a reply. But anyway, I went in the house, or came home, went in the house about 10, and went to bed. Well, about 11, I got woke up. Because it wasn't too far from where I was at when I did the calls. You know, as a crow flies. Well, anyway, I got woke up. All the dogs are barking. Sound like they was barking within 5 miles. And in the distance, I could hear something. I don't know if it was a cat. I'm going to have to gather my thoughts. And I'm going to have to seek out a little bit more information on it from somebody. And as far as like what they heard is what I'm trying to say. And but it was something going off, and it had the dogs shook up, which, you know, hey, when I talk about the dogs being shook up and barking and all that, that don't mean nothing really. I mean, it really don't. I mean, it's always good to hear the dogs, and you know, I've heard stories about dogs. I have saw my German Shepherd. I've heard stories about dogs retreating and dogs going into attack mode and then retreating. Heard of them cowering down. I've heard of them not doing nothing. I even heard a story about that. But when they wasn't doing nothing, they was, well, I ain't gonna go into that story, but anyway, but there was something last night, and I was also contacted. I did my calls about 9:30. I heard that about 11. Well, about 8:30, I was contacted by a man that said he was sitting on his front porch, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. I don't want nobody to know who it is. Me and this man, we talk pretty regular, and going to be going out together a little bit here and there. So that's why I'm not bringing his name up. But he called me, and he called me about 8:30. He said he was sitting out on the front porch, and all of a sudden the dogs went berserk, just went crazy. Then all of a sudden they went quiet, and then a little bit later, something right down in the holler below him went off, and he said it sounded like a screaming banshee or a woman, or he said woman. That's what he said. And what I find unique about it, I never told him really what I heard, before, but he basically described the same thing I heard several weeks back, and I missed it, trying to get it on my phone, missed it. So anyway, last night, I think last night was a good night. It had the wood stirred up, I know that, because I had that about 11, and I was in a dead sleep when I woke up, but it was so far, it was distant, but it wasn't too distant. I mean, I think I could have got up and went and investigated it, but if you're ever asleep and you're in that mode where you're kind of in between, and I'm like, when I get to sleep like that, because I don't get a lot of sleep as it is, when I do get to sleep, I mean, the house just about has to be about to blow up before I get up. I mean, I know that's sad, but it's just hard for me to get, unless I get woke up. Now, if I get woke up, I'm fine. But anyway, I think last night was an active night. I'm anxious to see what I got on my audio recorder. I wish I would have had another one out. So, lesson learned. I will be putting, which I was just sampling one area last night, but I did feel like something was up with the moon phase. I brought it up a couple of days ago about the moon phase. I just seemed like, to me, And that's what I was told, that, you know, these things has probably been sunning all day, and they're going to probably go hunting tonight. And so anyway, I think it would have been a good night to have several recorders out. Lesson learned. And the man told me last night that it's always good to have more than one out, because especially if you're sampling a location. But anyway, guys, I'm about to get my fix. Just want to tell y'all that, give you an update. And anyway, this is Blount County Bigfoot Research Organization of Alabama. Y'all have a good day.